Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Play Empire Total War. And I made a video recently taking a retrospective look at this game. So I thought, why not also do a Let's Play to kind of also illustrate the points that I wanted to make in that video. So let's go to Grand Campaign and let's play as France, because that will allow us to kind of illustrate the a couple of theaters that are available in the game. So let's start. So I'm using a couple of mods for this Let's Play, including Shokh Hates Sieges, which removes the ability to construct fortifications that are not there at the start, so it really decreases the number of terrible fort battles. I'm also using the mod that adds DarthMod's smoke and sounds into the game. So without using the entire DarthMod, I'm just using the smoke and sounds. I'm also using a mod that adds more units to the Mughals and the Persians. I've also installed Bran's battle and campaign AI mod, which also makes the economy a bit harder to manage for the human player as well. And I've also installed the additional units mod graphics pack, which reskins a lot of the rather ugly looking vanilla units. So usually when I start a campaign, or here I want to illustrate one of the problems I had with the game that I mentioned in the review was the fact that in Western Europe here we have three pretty important kingdoms, right? So we have Portugal, one province. Spain is two provinces, though one really. Gibraltar is just a tiny, poor province down here. And then we have France as one province. And then Lorraine, Strasbourg, as the second small, relatively poor province compared to France. And this introduces kind of a balance issue, because look, Italy over here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provinces in the geographic area of Italy. And France has 2. So even though France is a rich province, so it's not imbalanced in that sense, it is imbalanced because, you know, if an enemy army comes in and breaks through to Paris, then all of France just collapses, so all the resistance just falls. And same thing for Spain. And that I find is a little, I don't know, it just seems a bit technically imbalanced to me. So at the beginning of Empire, I always like to build up my farms and my infrastructure a little bit, which allows me to get a lot of money and increase my population growth at the start of the campaign. So I don't like to forget about that, because at least these farm provinces, for example, they don't start out with any buildings. So once I construct the buildings, then at least I'll have some production going from there, even if I forget about them later, because let's be honest, these little icons are not that noticeable. I mean, they are noticeable, but not that much. Anyway, let's also move our gentlemen to the school so that we can research a bit faster, and I'm going to start by researching plug bayonets. I always like getting plug bayonets, ring bayonets, square, and carbines, so that I get a lot more, I can get a lot more out of my units, so line infantry can have better melee. And the square formation is important when the enemy has a lot of cavalry. And I like carbines because it allows for the construction of, or the recruitment of chasseurs and other mobile gun units. So I'm also going to put my ships in the port, because I don't need them doing anything right now. I'm going to consolidate my army outside Paris here, and perhaps I'll make a line infantry just to supplement my forces. This guy's next to Savoy, but I'm going to bring him up to Nancy. And I'm going to consolidate my forces here in my other province as well. And then I'm going to go to my American provinces. So France is cool because it has some colonies in America. So Louisiana is a protectorate of France, which of course is ahistorical because it should just be a French colony like the rest of the French colonies, but that's okay. I guess it's done for gameplay and balance purposes. So there are a couple of buildings here that don't have anything constructed. So peasant farms up there, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there is a mine in Quebec. Or perhaps I am mistaken. No, I am not mistaken. There is a mine over there. I want to construct that, and I want to finish this farm over there. And I'm also going to construct some militia so that I can be prepared for any war that might occur over here. And I have a spy over here, so I'm going to send him to, I suppose, see what the Iroquois are up to. And there's also French Guiana down here. So France has also Martinique Island up here, as well as French Guiana, which is adjacent to Dutch Guiana, which is over here. And this also doesn't have a mine, so I will build that mine. And I believe that's enough for right now. We have tech being researched. We have our ships in port. I'm going to send our other spy to Berlin because you never know what the Germans might be up to. And yeah, I like building up my economy a bit at the start, especially using Bran's campaign AI mod with the hard economy. I like to build up my economy a bit so that I don't have any problems with the unit upkeep. So luckily France is rich, so let's keep going. So yeah, the Dutch didn't waste any time. We're going to enter the war on the side of our allies, which is Spain. So the United Provinces have attacked Spain, and now they want me to give them French Guiana, a technology, and they're going to give me 750. Yeah, I'm not accepting that. The AI in Empire, especially the diplomatic AI, is not so great. But what can you do? The Marathas want trade, so that's fine with me. The Iroquois have quite a lot of units, and they've declared war. That's okay. That's why I was building up my militia over there. So I have extra troops. Those Native American warriors that are melee warriors, they are effective in melee. So if they actually break through my battle lines and kind of overwhelm my line infantry, then that's not good. That's not good at all. So I have a mission to conquer these territories, Michigan, Algonquin, and Cherokee Territory. And then Louisiana would join my nation. Okay, that's nice. So I'm going to consolidate my army that's in Upper Canada, in Montreal. And once my army is ready, I'm going to take on the Iroquois over there. See if I can take their land. So I'm going to build some more militia to get ready. The Dutch have declared war, so I'm going to build some militia here as well. I'll build roads a bit later once things have calmed down a bit. So now I'm going to send my general, I suppose, to Amsterdam. I have some line infantry here that I trained. So I'll send him to Amsterdam. I'll send my other general up there as well. Let's see what I can do here. And I have a little more money, so I'll make some cavalry. I'll make some cavalry because my army is pretty infantry heavy, especially this supplementary army. So yeah, let's end the second turn. Okay, so I have an opportunity to intercept this Dutch army, and that's what I'm going to do. Once we take out their field army, the Dutch won't be able to really do much of anything. Also, if I take Amsterdam, then the Dutch will be defeated completely, and they will also lose their colonies, so the colonies will become just rebel provinces. So I'll be able to take them. Perhaps Ceylon might be a bit out of my reach, Ceylon, Sri Lanka. So we'll see what happens. Also, I wanted to let people know that I'm also working on a retrospective review of Napoleon Total War. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to send my light infantry, I guess, to the left here. Because they can skirmish, I'm going to set them to skirmish. I'm going to send these line infantry probably to the side there. And my cannons, I guess, can go here. So my light infantry can cover my cannons. And why don't you set up correctly? Yeah, that's fine. And this line infantry can be, well, I'll reset them once the battle starts. There's my general's cavalry, and I'll put my lancer cavalry on the right flank. Actually, I should have the lancers on the left because you never know. They might come from the left. I like using my cavalry as kind of a reserve unit more than infantry. So let's see what the Dutch do here. I'm going to advance a bit. I'm going to advance a bit here. The Dutch seem to be mostly coming from this angle. Oh, but they do have some troops coming from the left flank. So I'm going to get my line infantry ready. I'm going to have my cavalry as a supplement right here. I'm going to keep my light infantry set up over here. And I'm going to have everybody run. So the Dutch they're trying to mob me with my cavalry, which is really annoying. So I'm going to do something rather ill-advised. Unfortunately, my infantry were caught right in front of my cannons. I'm going to halt their fire for now. My cavalry will come around to help them. The enemy pikemen have attacked from this flank, but I seem to be okay. I should have known to check for the reinforcements. That was my mistake. Always check to see where the reinforcements are coming from. Actually, that's the enemy second general. So that's interesting. I have my other cavalry here helping out my line infantry. These cannons might rout, but should be okay. I've taken out their general, which is good. These guys are engaged. Here you can see the DarthMod smoke and sound effects, which I find nice for Empire. For Napoleon, I prefer using the whiff of sulfur modification. So my light infantry seem to be okay. The enemy pikemen have arrived. That's not good. So hopefully I can finish taking out this cavalry. The enemy is trying to set up on my flank. I'm going to reconfigure my line infantry there. My 3 line infantry here are not really in an effective position. So I'm going to set them up like this, quickly. Hopefully this line infantry can hold its own against the pikemen. It seems to be doing just that. Hopefully these horsemen... My lancers are getting attacked by a lot of people at once. I'm going to pull them back. So I want my line infantry to set up here. And I want my horsemen to combine with the lancers. And I'm going to have them kind of overwhelm the flank. I'm going to have them come from the left side. So they've engaged with my light infantry. That's not what I want to happen. If I hit the pikemen from behind, their effectiveness against the cavalry won't be so pronounced. Oh. My general's bodyguard was hit by a cannon, but he appears to be not amongst the dead, so that's good. Oh, my light infantry was hit hard. Where's my cavalry? Oh, they've hit the enemy general's bodyguard. Oh, that's why he died. Okay. So their pikemen have engaged with my line infantry. I can use my cavalry to... I'm going to finish off that general's bodyguard, and then use them to hit the pikemen from behind. My line infantry is still in a battle with their pikemen. What else can I do? Right, my cavalry. I'm going to hit the pikemen, and then I'm going to flank their militia with my cavalry, and while my line infantry shoots them from the front. There we go. Cavalry are still effective in Empire. It's not like they're not effective at all. It's just their effectiveness is not as pronounced as in Rome or medieval. But they're still a very viable option. So here you can see the nice smoke effects. Yeah, the pikemen are routing. I'm going to have my cavalry move around the back while my line infantry keep fighting. Well, my line infantry are in trouble. Well, my lancers are in trouble. You know what? Just hit the militia. their militia is going to be broken soon, hopefully. They're not as good in melee as line infantry. I'm actually okay with the tracer effects here on the bullets. I find it useful. They keep picking off my general's cavalry. It's not very nice. The general's bodyguard is still fighting. The general's dead. Reform my lines. So the enemy line infantry and militia should be finished soon. Their pikemen are coming back for some more. Oh, my light infantry are prepared, so I'll bring them back into the fray. Oh, it seems like my cavalry is not fighting quite as effectively as I thought they would. Okay, once this militia unit is taken out, I will move my line infantry closer. I'll just have these guys charge those cannons. I don't want them hitting my general accidentally. I'm moving these line infantry closer. My line infantry seems to be doing okay against these pikemen. Okay, there we go. Their militia broke. And their pikemen broke. And my line infantry broke as well. So perhaps I sniped some of my own guys, but it's okay. I don't know why the Dutch have set up at this angle. This battle should be over in just a minute. I also want to say that I'm using an animations mod, so it especially seems to improve the animations while charging and marching. So anyway, victory's mine. I feel bad chasing down the defeated because I feel it makes the casualty rates rather unrealistically high, that is, for a battle of this from this era. And also I don't find it that fun to do so. Anyway, my units, I did take some casualties. I didn't play the beginning of the battle as well as I should have, because I didn't check where the enemy reinforcements were coming from. That can happen. But I mean, you know, real-life generals forget to do that. What can I say? Okay, so Württemberg has declared war on me. That's fine. Once I finish off the Netherlands, I'll work on them. Get to work on them. So here's Württemberg. So yeah, that's not a bad place to conquer. So I'm going to send my main army here. They only have firelock armed citizenry. They refuse to surrender. So I'm going to actually assault them, but I will assault them in the next episode. So I'll see you then.